Hello there. Welcome to the Hindu Editorial Vocabulary, Pronunciation and Reading Program. Today's Hindu editorial title is A Serious Lapse. A Serious Lapse. We will move into the first section, that is vocabulary. The very first word is lapse, means temporary failure. Stranded means struck. Indeed means true. Functionaries means officials or spokespersons or representatives of some organization. Triggered means activated, stimulated. Forestalled. Forestalled means to prevent something to happen by acting first. Surcharged. Charge extra amount. Tempered, strong emotion. Resorted means last available option to act. Hyperbole means exaggerated statement. Plugged means stop or close or prevent. Diatribe means verbal or written abusive attack on someone or on something. Revered means respectable or honored. Assassinated means killed or murdered. Probed means investigation. Preceded means headed or continue. Contingency means emergency. So next one is miscommunication. Fail to communicate successfully or adequately to act on something. So miscommunication. Misinformation, giving wrong or false information, incorrect information. Misjudgment, developing a incorrect idea or opinion in mind. Protesters, people who are expressing their dissatisfaction or disapproval of on something. Loopholes, gaps in the system which will affect the function to carry out. Unaware means not aware or not known. So these are the words. I guess these words will help us to understand the editorial effectively. Now we will move to the next session, that is a reading session. Now we will read the editorial for pronunciation. The lapse in Prime Minister Narendra Modi's security arrangements, which left his convoy stranded on flyover for around 20 minutes near Firozpur in Punjab on Wednesday, is indeed a serious one, as stated by the Union Home Ministry. But by quickly blaming the Punjab government and the state police, the central functionaries triggered a blame game that has forestalled the possibility of fair and credible inquiry into the incident. Two parallel inquiries have been announced, one by the center, another by the state, both of which are on hold until Monday, when the Supreme Court of India will hear a plea on the issue. Discussions on national security always surcharged in India, but at least this one involving the personal security of Prime Minister should have been more tempered. Union Minister and the Bharatiya Janata Party functionaries turned this into at another loyalty test and resorted to hyperbole. hyperbole. India takes the security of its prime minister very seriously. After all, a sitting prime minister, a former prime minister, and the leader revered as the father of nation are among the list of countries assassinated leaders. The Special Protection Group, that is SPG, with an outlay of around 600 crore in 2020, and around 3,000 personnel has just one job: protect one person, the Prime Minister. The critical question that is to be probed is who made the decision that Prime Minister could and should travel by road for more than 100 kilometers from Bathinda to Firozpur, and what inputs went into making that decision. Assuming that someone concluded that it was advisable for the Prime Minister to be on the road for nearly 2 hours, the process that preceded it must be probed. It was also decided that Prime Minister should not be using a helicopter as was originally planned. The route was identified in advance as a contingency plan, but the decision to use it was made at the last moment. A version that both state and central governments agree on. Various scenarios involving miscommunication, misinformation, and misjudgment are possible. Protesters who blocked the route were reportedly unaware of the Prime Minister travel. As the Union Home Minister said, accountability must be fixed and loopholes must be plugged. Considering the mutual distrust, the state and the center have now public. A Supreme Court monitored probe could be a good way to get to the bottom of the matter in a credible manner. This episode must also lead to a more efficient protocol for the Prime Minister's travel and, and a repurposing of the SPG if required. Meanwhile, loose talk, diatribe, and electioneering on the issue must be shunned at all cost. So this is a biggest lapse on Prime Minister's security, and I feel that it's a more about miscommunication, misinformation, and misjudgment must have played a lot of role on this incident. Anyway, but as Home Minister said that accountability must be fixed and loopholes must be also plugged. Then only we can save Prime Minister from danger. Because as the editorial pointed out that Prime Minister and former Prime Minister and nation of the father were killed or assassinated by the terrorists. That should not be the that should not be the case with the present or future Prime Minister. That's a pride of India. This is all about today's editorial. If at all you like it, just subscribe for regular updates. Thank you all. See you again.